Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I will be knitting. Today's video is going to walk you through my goals for January 2024. But before we do that, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is that I am beautiful. AKA, I bought new makeup and I'm wearing it. Yeah. So when DJ and I went to spend the holidays with my family, we had family pictures taken. So I brought my makeup bag with me and I put a full face of makeup on, which is not something that I normally do. I used to do it all the time. Like in my 20s, did it all the time. But now I just don't really care about what people think of me. And anyway, so I haven't worn makeup in a while, regularly, full face of makeup. So I put some makeup on for family photos, and when I went to put my eyeliner on, it was like bone dry. It didn't even go on my eye. It was completely useless. So I was like, number one, why do I have makeup that doesn't work anymore? It used to work fine. And number two, I probably shouldn't be like using old makeup anyway. Like I'm sure there are like standards and practices or standard practices, whatever, for makeup storage, makeup expiration, etc. I don't know what they are. I don't really care, to be honest with you. So you could tell me in the comments if you want, but I'm not really invested in knowing that. But I do know that this makeup was like 3-4 years old. So it's time to replace it. So I spent $68 at Ulta and I got some new makeup. And then, yeah, I got some new makeup. So I'm wearing makeup. So all that to say, if you think I look different, it's because I'm wearing makeup, but I'm still the same person. And also, I know you don't need to wear makeup to be beautiful. So like, don't think that I'm like spitting that message, because I'm not. Do what you want with your face. Okay, anyway, so let's talk about my knitting goals. Yes, my knitting goals for January. Because I basically do everything that Leslie of Knit California does, I have purchased a knitting journal. This is a bullet journal that I got through Leslie's Amazon storefront link. I've put this really cute sticker on it that my sister Ellie got me at Hook and Needle, which is a local yarn store in Tennessee. So yeah, this is my official 2024 knitting journal, and I've set up the pages in a similar fashion to what Leslie has set her knitting journal up as. I followed her video going through how she set up each page in her knitting journal. Like, I'm telling you, I made it full screen on my computer. I counted the dots. I made the lines in the same place that she made them. Maybe if I continue doing this throughout 2024, I hope I can be consistent, but also continue doing it, you know, for the years to come. I'll be able to be a little bit more original, but basically I just did everything Leslie did in her videos because I didn't want to commit the brain power to being creative. I don't know, it felt like really high stakes to make sure the lines were in the right spot, so I just kind of followed Leslie's lead. But all that to say, in Leslie's knitting bullet journal, and now also in mine, there is a page for each month. So far, I've only made January because I don't really want to work too far ahead today. I don't know. I feel like my brain is at capacity of drawing lines. So there we go. Yes. So all that to say, I have a section of this bullet journal that is basically a overview of the month of January. So on this side of the page, I have the projects that I have ongoing that I'm working on this month, and also the projects that I start this month, projects that I finish this month. You'll be proud to see that I already have a finished object for the month of January. And then this is to keep track of the yarn that comes in and out of my collection during the month of January. Now on this side of the page is kind of like a bird's eye view of the month. So it's separated into, I realized I probably shouldn't go like this because then the mic isn't going to pick up my voice as much. So I'll hold it down here. But on this side, there are 4 sections to make up the month of January, and they're my, excuse me, frog in my throat. They're my goals for each week of the month of January. Yeah, so I'm going to walk you through what I have chosen to include this month. I think that it is equal parts realistic and absurd. So we'll see what I can accomplish. But today, the day of filming is January 5th. Tomorrow is January 6th. I mean, obviously, that's how numbers work. But I'm planning for January 6th to be the day of upload of this video. So hopefully you're seeing this on January 6th. If you're seeing this later, forgive me. Sorry. Okay, so basically the week or the first installment of my goals for the month of January are from January 1st through January 10th. So I am in that first section, being that today is January 5th. So what I want to accomplish in the month of January, yeah, now I'm realizing I don't even need, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to tell you the month of January, and maybe I'll add a little bit of information on what portion of the month I want to accomplish that in, but I was getting ahead of myself. Sorry. For the month of January, there are a few things that I want to accomplish. Number one, this is the primary goal of mine for the month of January because it is a commissioned order. I am going to be making 6 stockings for someone who reached out to me on Instagram. So I'll be knitting 6 stockings. There's thunder outside, so Darby's currently in the corner down here on the ground wishing she were dead. So if you hear the rumbles, it's not gas, it's not my stomach, it is the sky. So 6 stockings. I'll be making 6 Christmas stockings. I use Cascade 220, and I have yarn here for I think 4 stockings. 4 stockings, because you can get 2 stockings out of 1 skein. So for each stocking, I use 3 colors, white, red, and green. And for, 6 skeins here, I will get 4 stockings out of these 6 skeins. And the additional yarn I need to complete the 6 stocking order is in my cedar chest. So I just took enough for 4 stockings out for right now. I will get the additional yarn when I come to it, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that's the primary goal. Also, while I am making the stockings, I kind of want to time myself and see how long it takes to knit a stocking, because I don't think that I am pricing my commissioned work equitably for my labor. I made a ton of these stockings a few years ago, and I priced them at $150 and $100 for friends and family, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm sorry, but that was just like a pittance of compensation for the labor that goes into making 1 stocking. So I really want to get the data on how much labor is required to make these stockings so I can price them fairly for my labor moving forward. So all that to say, that's my first goal of January, is to complete that stocking order. I plan to make 2 a week so that I can ship all 6 of them out by January 31st. So that's the plan. The second goal that I have for the month of January is to finish this project. This is my first cast on, actually, of January 2024. I cast this on New Year's Day, and it's going to be an Oslo hat, or an Oslo adjacent hat. I'm following the pattern for the Oslo hat Mohair edition by PetiteKnit, which is a pattern that I've made, I believe, twice before, and I really like it. Most recently, I made this purple hat, which is on my desk right now because I have failed to put it away since the last time I had it out. But it's a great pattern. You knit it by holding 1 strand of fingering with 1 strand of lace weight, Surrey, Mohair, pick your fighter kind of thing. But I am using a little bit of a different yarn combination. I'm using this Silky Bouclé fingering from Treehouse Knits. This is a silk, and I forget what the fiber content is. I will look it up and put it on the screen for you. But it's a boucle yarn, and it's really soft and cushy. It is listed as a fingering weight, but Lauren of Treehouse Knits has said before that you could easily sub their boucle fingering for sport weight patterns, and that's what the Oslo hat Mohair edition pattern calls for. So instead of using one strand of fingering with one strand of lace, I am using one strand of this Silky Bouclé from Treehouse Knits. And then when I get to the crown, let's see. I had it a minute ago. I don't know where it is now. But for the crown, you know what? No, I'm going to show you. I'm going to find this. Will I? Yes, here it is. Ha. Okay, so for the crown, I'm going to be using the Treehouse Knits Sierra Sport base. Both of these bases are the same colorway. I'm using the colorway called In Bloom from the Treehouse Knits Favorites collection. I got these skeins from the Treehouse Overflow skeins from the Favorites collection. So typically if a dyer has a pre-order collection, that is your best bet to get the yarn you want. But oftentimes they dye up extras, or the math just wasn't mathin'. I don't really know what goes into it because I am not a yarn dyer. But basically there are overflow skeins. So after they've dyed up all of the ordered skeins and shipped out all of those pre-order orders, the overflow skeins are put in their online shop and you can then purchase them. So it's never a guarantee, first of all, if overflow skeins will even be available, and it's never a guarantee if they are available, if you'll be able to get what you want, whether that is the color you want or the base you want or the quantity you want. But I wanted this and it was there, so I got it. This yeah, I'm really glad that I got it. So all that to say, the brim of this Oslo hat is going to be boucle, and the crown, meaning from the brim up, the rest of the head, will be this superwash merino. So I think it's going to be not only a beautiful color, but a really fun textural piece. So it's an experiment. Not sure how it will turn out, but I don't foresee any reason why it wouldn't turn out amazingly. So that is my second goal for January. I will also have a finished object diary video when this is done, because there are a few modifications I've made to this, or not modifications, but like some strategies that I have implemented to make this knitting experience a little bit more palatable for me, especially because I'm working with this textured yarn, so it can be difficult to, you know, see my stitches. But long story short, I did a provisional cast on with the Sierra Sport weight, and instead of waste yarn, I used stretchy cords, or knitting extension cords. These are from Twice Sheared Sheep. I have an affiliate link in the video box description if you're ever interested in Twice Sheared Sheep notions. But yes, after the provisional cast on, I moved forward and I worked with this boucle. So what that does is when it's time for me to fold the brim, I can just string these stitches right onto my needles instead of having to pick up stitches when the time comes for that. So I'll be working on that in the month of January. I'd love to have this completed by the end of the month. The next goal I have for the month of January is to make my new best friend a little bit more societally appropriate by giving her clothes. This is Cushy, Meet Cushy, so named because she is knit in yarn from Cushendale Woollen Mills in Ireland. When I was on the Irish knitting tour in October, I had some set plans of what I wanted to buy in terms of yarn. but I was kind of stumped of what I should get at Cushendale Woollen Mills. I had scoured their website. I was totally familiar with the products they offered. I knew they had a Mohair DK weight Bouclé yarn. Mind-blowing. And then they also had DK weight Irish wool. I had no idea what to make. My Aunt Becky, who was on the trip, said she was getting yarn for this lamb pattern. So I was like, great, perfect. Count me in. So I got yarn for Cushy, which is what I've named her. My sister Ellie also got matching yarn in the same colors for her own lamb. And oh, this isn't just Cushendale yarn, actually. The white yarn, or the cream-ish yarn, is yarn from Carol Feller of Stolen Stitches. We had a workshop with Carol Feller, and it was really nice. We're going to Cushendale Woollen Mills, and we are having a workshop with Carol Feller on the next Irish knitting tour. So if you want to make your own Cushy, join us on the Irish knitting tour. But all that to say, she needs clothes. This is the Tearoom Lambs pattern by Susan Hickson. You can purchase this pattern to be knit flat or knit in the round. There are two options. Personally, I think you should only have to purchase one pattern and it will have both directions, but I digress. But I purchased and have knit this pattern in the round and it worked fine for me. I used magic loop to knit Cushy. Why do I keep getting distracted? She's just so cute. Some things you should know about Cushy. Her boots are full of lavender sachets, so not only does she look purple, she smells purple, and she's perfect. More thunder rumbles. If you can't actually hear that, you might think that I'm making it up, but I'm not. So, for Cushy's clothes, I need to finish these overalls, or dungarees, as they are called. There's a hole back here for her tail to stick out. Cute. Yeah, so I need to finish her dungarees. I think I can finish that this week for sure. And then there's also a scarf that she wears in the pattern. I realized after the fact that I don't have another color of Cushendale yarn or Carol Feller yarn that I want to use for the scarf. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pinkish, purplish Kerry Woollen Mills yarn that I have left over from the Liz Spillane workshop on the Irish Knitting Tour, and that will be her scarf. I think it's just like a little seed stitch, you know, long skinny rectangle. So I want to get Cushy all set up and done so I can call her a finished object. And also, I'm 33 years old, but I'll tell you that I've slept cuddles up next to Cushy the last couple nights. She's just the perfect size. And the lavender makes her smell really good and really calming. So that is the next goal for January. Finish Cushy's outfit so Cushy can be done and clothed and you know, happy and healthy and wonderful. So far we have the stockings order, the Bouclé hat, and Cushy's clothes. The next goal I have for the month of January is to finish my Daft Days cardigan. Now, I don't know if this is possible. I'm just going to tell you up front, because now that Advent season is done, I don't have that fire under my butt to work on this every day. I know that I should. I know that you want me to, but we can't always get what we want. And I think that's important for us to remember. So let me show you where I am on the Daft Days cardigan, if I can even find it. I don't know why I keep losing things. Guess what? I found it, and it was in the basket where I keep my project bags. Why is that not the first place I look? I don't know. But here's where the Daft Days cardigan project is as of today, January 5th. The body is complete. I have the body totally done. Please pardon my sweater. I know that I need to glean it. The body's done. What I need to do next, or before it's totally finished, is pick up and knit the collar and button band, pick up and knit the sleeves, and I guess I have to weave in the ends. I want to get that done this month. I don't know. I don't know what my heart will tell me. I don't know if my heart will protest. I don't know. But it is something I would like to do. If I actually do that is yet to be seen. But in the weekly snapshot, I have kind of separated the tasks that I have to do. So for instance, before January 10th, it's my goal to pick up the collar and button band and weave in 10 ends. Okay? And then the next week, January 11th through 17th, I want to weave in 10 ends again. So slow and steady on the ends weaving in. Oh, there's so many. And then also finish the collar and button band. So between now and January 17th, the task for this project is collar, button band, weave in 20 ends. That's doable, right? Right. Lots of things are doable. If you actually do them is another matter. So again, we will see. I don't want you to get your hopes up. But I'm hoping to, okay? So just like temper your expectations, but still root for me, you know? Okay. And then from January 18th to 24th, again, my goal is to weave in another 10 ends. So by the end of January 24th, I should have 30 ends woven in. So I'll basically only have 1 million more after that. And then also to complete the first sleeve during that week. And then in the final week of January, finish weaving in the remaining million, trillion, gazillion, bajillion ends and complete the second sleeve and then block. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Was that too ambitious? I'm kind of thinking it was now, but I'm not changing it because this is written in pen. Fun fact, I don't write in pencil because I'm left-handed and I just smear it everywhere. So anyway, it's written in pen, therefore it is written in stone, and that's just the way it goes. So what is that? 4 goals for January. And of course, as I'm sitting here at my desk, right next to me is my Lento, and I want to work on that too. There's just so many things to knit and not enough time in the day. But for now, I'm just going to leave those 4 things as my official 4 goals for the month of January. And I will also tell you that I'll tell you how this corresponds to my goal of 24 items in 2024. The Daft Days cardigan, when it's done, is not going to be one of my 24 items because according to my fake rules that I self-imposed, I'm only counting things I started and finished in 2024 towards my 24 items. I reserve the right to change my mind because rules are fake, but I still fear them, so therefore I follow them. But yeah, so far I'm planning not to count my Daft Days. Cushy does not count. However, I will be counting her overalls and I will be counting her scarf because both of those I will have started in 2024, whereas Cushy I cast on Christmas Day 2023. Okay, got it? So Cushy herself won't count, but her clothes will count. Daft Days won't count. This will count because I cast this on New Year's Day. So I know it's hard to keep track of because it's all made up. It's all fake. So if you're confused, of course you are. And if you're following along, we are kindred spirits because are we nuts or what? Yeah. So those are my goals for January. The Bouclé hat, finish Cushy's clothes, stocking order, and Daft Days cardigan. Yeah, that's only 4 things, right? Stocking order, Bouclé hat, Cushy clothes, Daft Days. Yeah, only 4 things. So when you think about it like that, that's pretty doable. But also, my winter break is ending in just the blink of an eye, it feels like. So, you know, my time will be less my own very shortly. We'll see what I can accomplish between now and the start of classes, and also between the start of classes and the end of the month. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm looking forward to the journey and the process. Also, in the month of January, I am going to Yarny Gras, which is a yarn festival in New Orleans, hosted by Indie Untangled. It will be my first yarn festival. I'm kind of nervous because I don't want this to sound conceited, but I'm kind of nervous to be recognized. Oh my gosh, that sounds so conceited. But I don't know. I feel like I'm very awkward in public. So If you ever see me in public and you're like, wow, she's nuts. Sorry. Stresses me out. Okay, so, but I am looking forward to Yarny Gras from Indie Untangled. And yeah, that's pretty much a look at what I'm anticipating in the month of January. I think it'll be a good month. I think it will be a productive month. And I know that it will be a fun month because I'm kind of moving away from, I know this is kind of contradictory because I just like shared my goals, but I kind of want to move away from like strict tasks or strict goals and just kind of, you know, as Leslie says, follow the serotonin. If I really think, I've said this before, if you're not having fun with this, it's not worth it. This is literally the hobby that we do for enjoyment. And of course, I know it's so much more than a hobby. Like, this is a fine art, a highly skilled process that we undertake with every stitch. I'm not at all trying to demean or belittle that truth, but it's literally the hobby we do for enjoyment. So if we're not enjoying it, why in the ding dong heck are we doing it? Anyway, that's what I think. That's the mood I'm in today. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Let me know your goals in the comments. If you have specific January goals, I'd love to hear them. If you want to hop on any of the goals that I have for myself, like making a tea room lamb. This is a really fun knit, by the way. I'm excited for my finished object diary video that will inevitably be in existence once Cushy is completely done. But yeah, like I could go on and on, obviously. So I'll end it here. That's all I have for you today. I'm excited for January. I'm excited to see what I make. I'm excited to hear about what you make. I think that it's going to be great. So yeah, that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already, and hit that notification bell to be notified of my next upload. Last but not least, head over to Instagram and follow me at Rachel is Knitting if you don't already. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.